are you today? Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Katrina and this is Create Something Pretty. I have been collaborating with Karen Marie from Made by Karen Marie, which is her YouTube channel's name, and we decided to make a dress together, and I have finally finished it. I'm actually a little bit late, so I'm going to tell you all about that today. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I have finished my dress. I'm actually a little bit late with it. I've had a few things go wrong this week that I had no control over, and I just didn't have the sewing time that I was hoping to have. I was so close to having it done. I just had to finish off the sleeves and hem it. That was all I had to do. That's all that was holding me up. So my dog is right here and he wants cuddles. Yes, so sorry if I'm a little bit distracted. So my dress is finally finished, and we both decided earlier this year that we would make the Ember Dress by Sew Liberated. It was very new at the start of the year, and actually they had two dresses come out pretty much one after the other, and I had bought this one already, and we decided, since it was a fairly new pattern, let's give it a go, let's make it up. So we decided to do that, and I'm quite happy that we did. There are two views with this pattern. There is a view A and a view B. View A is a very simple version with long bishop style sleeves. They're quite full actually, and it has a waist like a channel front and back, where you can tie it at either side with the bows either side to bring in the waist, so you can cinch in and give yourself a bit of a waist if that's what you need. The skirt is panelled. It's all got princess seams where you can insert later if you wanted to, and the skirt is quite a full skirt actually. It's takes quite a few pieces to actually put it together. So view B, it's very similar to view A, only it has a couple of other versions of sleeves that you can choose to put on it. So you can make it really simple, or you can make it a really bit more dressy, I think it's like a prairie sort of style. I could be wrong on that, but you can dress it up how you like, using lace or top stitching, yeah, all those different finishes. And it does have a facing at the neck, and it also has in the princess seams, they are you finish them off before you actually sew the dress together, so that you can actually iron them flat, and that allows you later on, if you need to, you can make adjustments and make it fit you, so you can wear it for a long time if that's what you want to do. So I actually gotta say I really enjoyed making it. It was I don't know, it was just really fun to sew up. It wasn't hard. I did do a trial run beforehand, and I did have to make an adjustment. I made view A, so I just made the really simple one because I thought that would suit my lifestyle. I'm not really a very dressy person. I don't go out very often. I don't have the money for that sort of thing. Spend too much money on fabric, I think. So yeah, so mine's very simple, and you can see I've done the simple bishop sleeve, if I can get her in shot a bit more. So there's a light behind there, it might be a bit bright. So I have a binding on my sleeve, and I really love that finish. I just think that makes it really nice and neat. You could always just finish it off with elastic if you wanted to, but that's not in the pattern. But I just really love a bound sleeve. I just think it looks really nice. The neck is finished with a facing, and this is the channel here, and it is, where is it? It's finished off with a tie front and back, which you can hand stitch that shut, or you can just tie it in a knot like I have. So I just found that really simple. So I'm not sure if I love it. I gotta say, I have only just finished it today, so I've only had a little bit of a play with it, and I took some photos outside, and the weather was really bad and absolutely freezing. I think it's 12 degrees outside. That's cold to us. It's anything below yeah, 18 and under, that's cold. So yeah, it's a bit different. It's not the fabric that I was intending to use. It does take up a lot of fabric. It's quite hungry because you do have the sleeves. The skirt is quite full, and actually there's quite a bit of fabric in the bodice as well. So you do need a bit of extra fabric. A couple of things that I was impressed with was the way the channel was finished. I think that looks really nice. I'll put some photos in of how that is done. It just looks really neat. When I was sewing it up, I didn't expect it to look like that, and I was really impressed when I finished it. I'm like, oh, that actually looks really good. I do wish I had to use a different colored thread because I didn't realize that's how it was going to look. I just hadn't figured that out. So yeah, I was really happy with that. There's one thing though that I really wasn't impressed with. Overall, the instructions were actually really good. There's just one part that I didn't like, and that was there was no proper pattern piece list. There was a cut list, which I just found that a bit confusing. I kind of wish they had done a view A cut list and a view B cut list, just to make it a bit clearer. But they had done the view A cut list, which kind of listed what both pattern pieces needed, as well as just the few pieces that view B needed, which I just found that confusing. But I decided to use this fabric, which still wasn't what they asked for. For my view, in my size, I needed over 4 meters of fabric, and I didn't have anything with that sort of yardage or meterage. So I decided to use this fabric, which is about 3.5 meters, and I thought I will prioritize the bodice and the skirt pieces. If I can't get a full sleeve out of it, I'll just make it shorter, or I'll take some volume out of it, which something I did try and do, and in the end I actually left them full. And I thought for the facings, the ties, and any of those bits that aren't crucial, I will either cut them out of different fabric or piece them together. So I have actually pieced together my ties, and the facings and everything else I actually did get out of it. I pretty much got the whole lot out of it. It's just piecing that tie, and unfortunately I had to piece the waist channel, which is a bit that you can see. It's not obvious in this fabric, but if I had to use something plain, you probably would see it. So the reason that I missed that piece, and I didn't prioritize it, was because there is no piece list. And they have letters on that cut list, which is the only list that I could find, but none of that related to the pattern pieces. The actual letters that they had on the pattern pieces, it was not on the actual pattern piece, and this is one as an example. There's no lettering on that at all. So I just found that really confusing, and I checked that 2 or 3 times before I cut it out, just to make sure I had all those crucial pieces in there. And I got to the end of it, and I just had one decent sized piece left. Not enough to cut the whole thing out of, but a decent piece just in case I missed anything, and I was going to leave the pockets out if I didn't have enough fabric. And I had actually gone ahead and started cutting those pockets, and I was down to about the last piece, and I was like, oh, I'm sure there's another piece, and I'm sure I saw something else. So I went through it all, and then I found that waist channel piece, and yeah, I really wasn't impressed with that bit. I've got to say, I really was not happy about that. But I did manage to piece it together, and I don't think you can see it because it is in this really busy fabric. So thankfully I use this fabric. So I got the whole lot out of the fabric, which I'm really happy about. There was hardly any waste. I just have a handful of pieces left, and that's it. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, so that is my experience making this dress. I did make a size, I think it put me in like a size 22, and I did a trial first. I ended up having to go down a size. It was just way too big on me. I think I probably could even go down another size maybe, but I did find during my trial that I had some bubbling in the neckline, so I did a fit adjustment, and I'll put a picture in of what I did of that pattern piece. I just took a cut along the neckline, and I just lowered it in. I just hinged it down a bit to take up about 1 centimeter's worth of fabric, and it did help, though once I put my facing in, you can sort of see it a bit. So I think I could have taken out just that a little bit more. I had also taken a bit of that in my trial run. I had taken some of that out using the shoulder seams and the bust seam, but then when I came to do my actual one, I had forgotten to do that. So yeah, I probably should have done that. So that was my mistake. So yeah, that's the only alteration I did. I didn't have to shorten it or anything. I think I could have brought the waist channel up just a little bit. I think that would look better on me, having a slightly higher waist. I'm not in love with the waist channel, I've got to say. I think if I was to make this again, I would use a waist tie that or lengthen the waist tie from the front and make it so that it goes all the way through the back, because I think that just looked better on me. And I did take some footage of myself trialing that and showing you what I meant, because I thought that might be able to explain. So the neckline was the one bit that scared me the most, because that facing is actually sewn down, and I'm always really scared that the facing sewing a facing down will create bubbling along the neckline and I won't sew down neatly. But I managed to do it okay. I think I did an alright job, but yeah, it's still not my favorite task to do. And the other thing that I did was had to do the binding on the sleeves, and I always find that stitching in the ditch, I don't like doing that. That's not my favorite. So I did actually do top stitching on my seams, on my princess seams. You can't really see, it's not obvious. I didn't really do it as a feature, but I did do it just to make them sit flat, because I find that's much more comfortable to wear. So I thought it's worthwhile going to that effort. So I think that is everything. Please go make sure that you check out Karen's dress. She has sewn up a different view to me, and it looks very different to what I have made. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Sew Liberated Ember Dress made in 2 different fabrics for 2 different body shapes and sizes. I'm quite a bit shorter than Karen. I'm only 5'3", so it's really interesting that the length is quite similar on both of us. The length, that's another thing I needed to mention. The length, I think it needs to be either longer or shorter. I do find the length is a bit odd on me, so it's not quite right. So yeah, it was a really good experience. I would like to go back and make it again and make a few changes. I actually was going to put some pin tucks in the sleeve to make them a bit shorter, but when I was trying to make it up, I was in a rush. I forgot all about it. So I would like to try doing that. I would really like to try putting some lace in it, though I was really unsure what color lace to put in it. I had a couple of I had a bit of black lace here and a couple of bit of white lace, but none of them were really the right shade, so I didn't do that. But I would like to give that a go. I also thought it was just too busy to have lace there as well, so that's the other reason I didn't do it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing my dress. It is a nice pattern. It is really fun to make up. I just find there's just those I just need to style it and have a bit more fun playing with it, because I've only really just finished it today. So I hope you enjoyed hearing all about my dress. Please make sure you go and check out Karen's dress, and I'll put her YouTube channel down below, and I'll link her video in the description box, as well as anything else that I've mentioned that I will link down below. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate that you've come and check out my video. I hope that you will stay and maybe watch some of my other videos. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed, and don't forget to leave a like as well. So thank you so much for watching today, and I post usually on a Friday, depending on whether my family allows that to happen. And I will see you here again in the next video. Have a great weekend and lots of successful sewing. I will see you then. Bye.